talk about is we wholesaled a 4-unit apartment building. A 4-unit apartment building that we got for $375,000. Now, there's a lot of different aspects involved in this transaction because it was a 4-unit apartment building fully occupied. Okay, so Gino got it under contract with the seller, and then, again, we didn't know what we were going to do with it. We just knew it was a good deal. We knew that you could, again, wholesale it again. You could put it on the MLS and find a retail buyer. We could renovate it and keep it internally and cash flow on it. So we tried internally first to get some financing on it. So I got on the phones, I got on emails, and I was just like calling all my lenders and stuff, because we didn't know if we would have a buyer, right? He got it under contract. My job was to go and find a buyer or do something with it. So I sent it out to again, this is why I told you, I keep telling you, build out your people who you know. A lady from a meetup that I only met second time in my life who came to one of my meetups, she happened to give me her phone number at that event. I remember that she told me, I'm looking for a small multifamily property. All I did was contact this lady directly. I didn't even blast this out, I don't think, on my main email chain that I have 1,000 people on, 1,000 cash buyers. That's why I told you, put yourself in the position where people tell you what they want. Get an audience for yourself. So I found her, and the assignment, this thing was worth around $450,000 to $500,000. That's my internal calculations from doing quadplexes that I knew how much it was worth. Okay, so we tell her it's $450,000. She's happy. She said, yes, perfect. I'm going to get a 4-unit building for $450,000. Remember, we have it on their contract for $375,000. That's a huge assignment fee, one of the biggest assignment fees I ever had. And we got to the point where the lady is not a cash buyer. She was using conventional financing. Boom. That just turned the entire transaction for us, because with conventional financing, you know what happens. Appraisals, inspections. She's doing her own inspection. So we needed to get into this property 3 times. First of all, I needed to go there because we have something under contract with due diligence that we haven't even seen. We just got this under contract on the phone. The guy was living in Florida. The seller hasn't even been in this property. So I go in this property, I inspect it, I'm looking around, like, man, this is a good property. Everything is perfect in there. I mean, not perfect, but it's a great condition for a wholesale deal and value add. Okay, I went in there, I disturbed all the tenants, we set that up with the property manager. That was its own fiasco. We had to motivate this guy, to open these, to align everything with all these tenants. Next, the lady has to go in to do her own inspections. That's another waiting period, because we have no clue right now if she's going to buy it or not. And we already sent in our earnest money. So she goes in, does her own inspections. That's second contact. We have to get in there 2 times already. We're disturbing this entire building. Okay, she does her inspections. She likes it. She comes back with a price reduction. Third contact, the appraisal, the bank inspection goes in there. The bank inspection goes in there. Obviously, the kind of reports they write. The light bulb is to the left, the faucet is to the right, all that weird stuff. That's actually where she gets the price reduction. We get her down to $7,000 price reduction because we don't have the opportunity to fix anything in there, right? There's people living there and it's not our building. And the seller does not want to reduce this thing by a cent. And so we take the $7,000 off, okay? That's fine. Next, the bank, that was the inspection, the bank appraisal goes in there. The appraisal goes in there, the property comes back at $500,000 appraised value. We have this thing for $450,000 under contract with her. Now we're like, God, we left a lot of meat on the bone for this buyer, which is great. She's going to be happy. She's going to buy from us again. So it gets to the point where the lady is using conventional financing. We're like 7 or 8 days away from closing, her lender tells her conventional financing does not finance assignment fees. So we're like a week away from closing, and the lender tells us they're not going to finance assignment fees. Our assignment fee was $75,000. So all of a sudden, we have to tell this lady, you need to come up with $75,000 cash in order to make this deal work. I mean, this deal, like I'm telling you, there were so many things involved, but we kept maneuvering and working through. So this lady's panicking. She's like, where am I going to get $75,000 from? All these concerns that come up. Me and him, again, we don't know. Are we going to lose our earnest money? Because I haven't secured financing because I keep thinking this is going to go through with the lender. So I get back on the phones and contact all my lenders. I need $375,000 by next week. Blah, blah. And again, I'm disturbing my lenders when I don't even know if I need this yet, right? So I'm in a weird position where they're having me fill out paperwork and do all this stuff, but I don't even know if I'm going to accept their money. So it's like a huge waste of time. I start talking to all these lenders and wasting their time. So this lady figures out at some point that it's not going to happen. We tried to reach out to different lenders, and this was right before the holidays. It was either Thanksgiving or Christmas. Christmas, I think. So everything was closing. So now we're in a bad position. No lender in the country will finance assignment fees. So remember that. I didn't know that. Gino didn't know that, because usually we work with cash buyers when we do these transactions. So that was a huge, huge thing that we both learned. And then it ended up happening that she came up with the cash to buy this. She literally paid $75,000. What she bought the building for was $375,000. That's what her loan was for. She literally deposited $75,000 into the attorney's escrow account just to pay us our assignment fee. I mean, it sounds unbelievable, but this is what happened, because what motivated her was that $500,000 appraisal that came in, right? So she's like, and if I was her, I would do anything in that position as well, that I'm getting value here. I can literally go relist this thing on the MLS if I wanted to. I can flip it to another person for $475,000. So she's motivated at that point. Another funny thing was, before the appraisal, I wrote her and I said, let's bet that this building will appraise for more than $450,000. I was just joking, making the situation light with her, because she kept bringing up that assignment fee of $75,000. And she was like, I'll bet that it's going to appraise for less than that. And we just had a $100 bet. And then I didn't go to the closing table, but it appraised for $500,000. So she ended up bringing $100 cash that me and Gino split $50. It was just a fun bet. And so that's another scenario that we flipped a quadplex on paper only. Okay, so that's one scenario. I showed you this scenario right here. This was a single family house. Next transaction in December of 2019 was a duplex. This one, I'm showing you the different nuances that happened. This was a duplex that was occupied again by two families. We had a wholesale. We had to internally buy this property because we knew that the value in this property was listing it on the MLS. So we knew that an investor wouldn't give us the value we needed here, but we saw the comps on the MLS were around $250,000. We bought this duplex for $175,000. $175,000, it's worth $250,000. We had to find funding because it was such a good deal to buy this internally. So again, got on the phone, talked to my lenders. Again, that's why you need a list of lenders. These are private money lenders, because no bank is going to work with you this fast. These needs to be private, high net worth individuals who have money, because you need to have the answer by tonight, 5 p.m. Are you buying it? Yes or no? These are the kind of scenarios you are in. So I said, yes, I will get the $175,000. We bought it. We put it on the MLS the next day. As soon as we buy it, we put it on the MLS the next day for $230,000, and I did a showing. Again, there's people living here, so I'm disturbing them. And 6 people came. We sold this house on the MLS for $230,000. Bought it for $175, sold it for $230. I'm showing you different scenarios of how you can wholesale. You can wholesale on the MLS. You can wholesale apartment buildings. You can wholesale single-family houses. You can do anything your mind comes to, you can wholesale. I was working with a guy who was wholesaling commercial business. He was in Austell, a commercial business. He was wholesaling it. It already came with a tenant. It came with it was like a manufacturing plant. But that was the first time I saw someone trying to wholesale me an entire business. He got it under contract with the seller, the owners, and then he just was blasting it out on his email list, which he specializes in wholesaling real estate. But that never even hit me that, man, you can find these distressed businesses and stuff and try to wholesale businesses even. Dry cleaners, liquor store, that's what I'm trying to open your mind, that the possibility is endless. You can literally wholesale anything comes to your mind. So just think of that. And because again, what is wholesaling? It's solving a problem. All these people have some kind of a problem. All we were doing was just finding a solution to their problem. So I just wanted to share that with you. This was wholesaling from my perspective and how we do it in different capacities.